On the Sofa with Esther. Every Sunday, a place where legends and stars hang out, sharing untold stories and unforgettable moments. So get cozy and relax into inspiring conversations that you won't hear anywhere else.
Okay, right. Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are across the globe. Welcome back to On the Sofa with Esther, the space where authentic voices, music that moves the soul, and stories that inspire come together. This week, I am honored to be joined by none other than the diva of soul herself, Ms. Monet. Miss
Yes.
Monet is a powerhouse vocalist, a woman of soul through and through. And today she's here to talk about her stunning new single, You're Gonna Need Me, a bold and beautiful remake of the classic hit, originally sung by the legendary Dionne Warwick. Produced by BJ Kemp, the genius behind hits like Groove With You and Celebrate. This version isn't just a cover, it's a resurrection. Miss
Yeah.
Monet breathes new life into the track with raw emotion, powerful vocals, and the kind of soul that reaches deep. She's no stranger to greatness, having graced stages with icons like Michael McDonald, Eric Benet, Lucy Pearl, and Will Downing. But behind the voice is a woman rooted in strength, shaped by love and resilience of her mother and grandmother.
That's
Welcome,
right.
Miss Monet.
Thank you. Oh my God, that was so cool. Yes, but just knowing. Thank you.
Thumbs you up, lady. It's
Goodness.
you up. And
Thank you.
and before we go any further, I always ask my guests, it's a bit of a signature thing now. Who is
Mm.
Miss Monet in a peanut shell, in a nutshell, or you look like a nice juicy coconut?
Oh, I'm coconut. Definitely coconut. Crazy at best. Miss Monet is as authentic as an artist as you can get. I sing from my heart, I sing from my soul, and I resonate uh, that way. It's my ministry. It's not
Mhm.
it's not just a hobby. It's not what I do. It's not my job. This is my ministry. And when I realize that my voice can touch people, can heal people, can whatever it does, because I've seen it, it kind of puts me in a different perspective. So, overall, I would say I'm a coconut for the simple fact that, I'm all the things, but all the things
Absolutely.
that keep it tangible and keep it authentic.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So we're going to sort of dip in and out of your journey, your musical journey, because you've sung and performed and partnered with some of the, the industry's greats. I mean, Michael McDonald, he's been one of my ultimate favorites forever, and he's got that type of power in his voice as well. And
Mm,
and he doesn't have to do it much other than open his mouth.
that's it.
And I love
Definitely.
when you sorry, apologies. And I love when you also said about being a messenger. And you are a message. You are the message.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's
I think a lot of times as artists, we forget that it's art, right? We're art and we're creative, but we forget that, especially with singing songs, we're telling a story. We have to paint the picture, and we have to be the architect of that moment and create it and through voice give the colors and paint the pictures and give the scenes. And I think sometimes artists forget that that's the power in what you do, you
mm,
know, because of all the you want the dancing and all this and everything, and that's great. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes I think the most power comes from when you can just stand in one spot and just sing, tell the story. And
mm,
that's some of the things, like again, Michael McDonald, he could just sit there at his piano and open his mouth.
absolutely.
And you are just captivated by
Mm,
what you hear, you
mm,
know. That's power. That's power because it's allowing the vulnerability of who you are as an artist and your voice to just come on out, you know. So I think artists have to, I would love to see artists get back to making sure that's the premise of what they do and why they do it. You want to tell the story, you want to make sure people hear it and convey whatever message that needs to come from that. Make sure it's spoken and it's so obvious because of how you painted that picture.
Mm. But not, I was not, and we know this anyway, but not every artist is coming from that sort of conscious place, that place of
Hmm.
consciousness, to
Hmm.
really dig deep into the soul and to give birth to this magic, this potpourri of its messages, but also its vibration and its healing and all those wonderful things. For a lot of artists, it may simply to be to make music and to get likes and ticks and to be validated. But
Hmm.
you're on a sort of much richer and deeper platform, and
Hmm.
not just about, and I can see it's not just about, you're not just doing this for you, you're doing it, it's a gift that you've been given, it's a gift that you've been gifted, and there's this joy and pleasure in gifting it. There's a lot of
Yes.
gifts in that narrative, but
Yes.
you understand the calling.
Yes. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for acknowledging that. Um,
Mm,
God is bringing tears to my eyes because that is the God honest truth. It is the God honest truth. It's like I've been given a gift and it's up to me to make sure that as I put it out, that the message is conveyed and it's reciprocated, and you can tell just by the response people give you back. You know, I always say, and recordings for me are one thing. I love to record, I love the songs, but it's when I get to stand at that microphone or stand on that stage and perform and see the looks in people's eyes and be able to connect with, you know, those people I see in the audiences, and whether it's a smile or whatever it is, it's about that connection. And so you're right. Thank you for acknowledging that because that is truly, truly who I am.
yes, because I've been listening to, I mean, obviously I listen to Gonna Need Me, and also there's Groove with You and Celebrate. I mean,
Mm.
Groove with You as well, that is so deeply soulful. You know, it takes you on a journey just because of the your rich voice, your rich soulful voice. And we're using that word soul quite a lot because it is about the soul. Um, and but let's just have a little focus on Gonna Need Me.
Okay.
Originally by Dionne Warwick. Why that track?
Good question. I too, you know, heard Usher, the sample and everything.
Yeah.
And I think I've heard it, you know, I'm a big music head and I love hip hop. And I think I heard another mix of it, and somebody hip in using one of their rap tunes or something like that. And I was like, it kept kind of, you know, coming up around me. And I was like, let me research this song a little bit more and everything. And so when I really went to go look for the actual song and realized it was a Dionne Warwick song, I was like, whoa.
Mm,
Who knew? You know, how come more people don't know about this part of Dion? I guess, you know, we know about the Burt Bacharach years and all that, and you know, the what's it all about, Alfie? We know all that, right? But we don't know the side of Dion. You know what I mean? And I guess this is, you know, her pre, you know, deja vu days and everything
mm,
like that. But there is this one moment where she was just like, ah. And when I realized it was Dionne Warwick, and then even more so was who wrote it, and I was like, oh, this is a Holland Dozier Holland piece. What?
mm,
The iconic? And I just was floored. Like this song it needs legs. It needs to do this thing. It needs to be discovered in a way, not as just a sample, but as a whole. Because when you think about the message, especially us, I always say us as women because I'm a woman, but anybody, any gender, you know, you're gonna need me. You know, how many times have we given ourselves 100% and or more? You know, or you know, overcompensated ourselves in situations, and just for it to be disregarded. You
yeah.
know, okay, well, you're disregarding me now, but you're gonna need me. You better wake up. You know, you better stop and think about what you're doing. You
Mm,
know, we've all gone through that. You know what I mean? So, it just kind of had a had this message that I felt that is very prominent right now. Women are becoming more vocal, about their feelings, about what they want and everything. And we're saying, look, enough is enough. So with that in mind, I was like, this is kind of a cool thing. I think I want to redo this song. So when I came up to BJ after the success with Groove with You, I said, well, we got to follow up Groove with You with something because, and he was like, I know. And I was like, there's two songs I would love to remake. I just think they would be just amazing to do. And so I told him the two songs, and one of them was Groove with You. And I said, so what do you think? And he was
Mm,
like, which one do we want to go after? And he was like, let's do that, Dionne.
mm,
I was like, thank you, because that was my first choice out of the two, to be honest. And I said, perfect. So we both dissected the hell out of that song, like literally isolated the vocals, he isolated the music, so we could recreate and give you the most authentic version of our version as to the original. And I think we did a great job. I mean, I even had another interviewer that said, okay, well, did y'all sample? I said, we didn't sample nothing. We
mm,
played everything. All the voice, all the vocals are all Monet. I sung everything, all the background parts, all everything. So it was important for us to recreate, but yet be as authentic as possible and get paying homage to this masterpiece
oh,
song that
wow.
I just feel it just deserves to be heard, in its full context, just not as a sample.
Mm, mm. As you're talking, there's when you talk about paying homage as well, um, not just to the song, but Dionne Warwick. I saw her a couple of months ago when she was in London,
Hmm.
and there was this real sense of it's almost like sitting at your feet of your grandmother, the ancestors. It felt so sort of ancestral being, and I remember sitting there saying, "Wow." Wow,
Hmm.
because I couldn't believe that I was sitting watching Dionne Warwick perform, but also she shares a lot about her journey in
Hmm.
that performance. And
Hmm.
it was quite iconic. And so for you to have taken that song and made it your own, but still holding the essence, its former essence, is also quite powerful. Because I mean, I loved Usher's sample of that as well. Um, and yours is wholesome. There's a wholesomeness to it. But I also feel that's because that's who you are. That's
Hmm.
what you can produce anyway.
Hmm.
Can't expect anything else. And let's just go back a little bit, Ms. Monet. I love saying that, Ms. Monet. Ms.
Hey.
Monet. Let's just go back a bit. When did you first realize that you had the gift of song?
Oh gosh. Uh let my mom tell it. I came out singing. She said, you came out singing the highest note ever and everything. I guess it just was something always innately in me, having both parents uh just deeply embedded in music. My mother on the gospel end with my grandparents being gospel promoters in the Bay Area here in California. And then my father sung with Marvin Gaye for 13 years. And my grandmother was his mother was classically trained vocalist. So I just had this, this union of the minds when they put me together, it was just like, it was just, my mother said, I just knew it was what you were going to do.
Mm,
Um, as a child, I recall I wouldn't go outside and play with kids. I would be in the basement playing the records because that's where my father and his group, they would rehearse and they had the mirrors and all the stuff. And I'm playing all the vinyl, all the records and giving concerts to my toys and to my dolls and stuff. I'm throwing time. And my mother was like, okay, she's having a whole concert downstairs. And so I think 7 years old, I would say seven is when I think I got the bug. Yeah, I had the bug then, but when I kind of was like, okay, this is really yeah. I won my first citywide talent show at 7 years old, singing a Tina Marie song, and
whoa.
yeah, it's like what? Um, so that happened 7 years old. I also sung my first solo in church. My cousin Barbara Jean Davis, who was like my musical mentor growing up, and she gave me the song to sing, and it was called God Has Smiled on Me. And that was my very, very first solo in church. And I think, those two moments made it like, yeah, yeah, this is it. This is it. I had the bug, and I just kind of just built and built on it. Of course, I love to dance. I love to perform. Again, I'm a performer. You know what I mean? And my mom just watched me just kind of grow and grow and grow. She was like, this kid she wants to be in the arts." So, yeah, I would say as early as 7 is when I realized, yeah, here we go.
So moving forward, where to now, Miss Monet? Because
Gosh.
you look like a box of Skittles. Do you guys have Skittles in the States?
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Box of Skittles, or it's almost like I'm just getting visions of like this Christmas tree popping out of this box, and there's this big Christmas tree. Because there's always something creative that
Mm-hmm.
are birthing. So
Mm-hmm.
what's next for Miss Monet?
Gosh, what's next? Just staying consistent. I think I'm excited about where I'm going in my journey. Again, like I said, I've been doing this for so long and have been on this journey for quite some time, being a supporting vocalist for so many, again, like you were saying earlier, iconic artists. But now, I've always was the artist to come up front. But of course, when you start singing with these other artists, it kind of, takes over your world. And that's pretty much what happened with me. Um, but now I'm detouring back to the front and making sure that Miss Monet is brought to the people and doing what God intended me to do, is not sing. So I'm excited about pushing forward on this path now, making people more aware of who I am as an artist. And I think that's important because, when you hear my story, when you learn about my backstory and everything I've done, you're like, wait a minute. So why are we just now? Exactly. Why are you just now? Because I've been doing this for so long, but now I'm finally like, okay, here I am. So I've been in it for a long time, but at the same time, it's a new journey at the same
Mm.
time, right?
But it's about
So
timing,
I'm
isn't it?
excited.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry, apologies. It's about timing as well,
yeah, yeah.
They talk about God's divine timing, and sometimes we want things a little sooner, or we think, why haven't I arrived? Blah blah. But then
Mhm.
I'm realizing, even for my life, it's been about timing,
Yeah,
and you've
yeah.
got this beautiful roster of talent behind you, of people that you've performed with, and now you can sort of gracefully step forward and say, "Here I am."
Here I am. Yeah,
Yay!
with their support too.
Absolutely.
With their support, with their love, I've gotten nothing but, I mean, well wishes from everybody I've ever performed with. Me. I mean, the very first group I ever sung with at 17 when I graduated from high school was with Huey Lewis and the News. I get messages from them. We're so proud of you. Dee Dee Bridgewater. I mean, Mo, we love you. Michael McDonald. Everybody is still very dear friends of mine, and they send me nothing but well wishes and support. It's not one person I can't call if I have an issue or problem and talk to. Matter of fact, even as we're speaking right now, David Page from Toto is calling me because
Oh,
I have a song I have to record from him. And as we're speaking right now, David Page Toto, this is the man who wrote Dirty Lowdown. This is the man who wrote, Africa and all the songs for Toto.
that's my favorite. Oh my gosh.
So he's tech as we're speaking right now, he's texting me right now, like, are you gonna do this song or da,
Okay. Interview.
right? So, it's just a beautiful, beautiful when I look at, my career and where I've been thus far and where God has taken me now. I just hope that I am uh being a good representation of what the next level of artistry looks like, sounds like, how is it to be presented? And I'm willing to, not willing, but I am graciously stepping into these next shoes and steps along the way.
Excellent, excellent. And I do have one last question, Ms. Monet. What was it like working with Eric Benet? Because I follow him. He's such a funny man. He's
Oh
great,
my God.
cray, cray. I don't know if I should call him cray, cray. I mean, still
Yeah,
got a stunning voice, still
yeah,
stunning voice.
yeah.
But just got such a great sense of humor.
Oh gosh. Eric Benet is like that big brother jokester that's always doing stuff. You're like, what are you doing now? What's going on? Eric is awesome. He was awesome to perform with, sing with. traveled alongside. He always kept us laughing and kept us smiling. Again, an amazing vocalist, an amazing vocalist. I mean, just the purity of this man's voice is just always just and another one, just another dear friend of mine. Matter of fact, I'm proud of him with his number one, recent Billboard number one record here in the States with he and Shantae Moore, their song. And another dear friend of mine who actually produced my first single that I finally said, let me do, which is called At This Moment, Randy E. Mata. So he produced that for me, but he's now the producer of Eric Benet's new number one single. So it's just all this family and all this love. But Eric is just he's the best. He's absolutely adorable.
Fantastic. And really, really last. If there was something you would say to the audience who are watching this at this moment in time, what would that be, Miss Monet?
I would say about me or just words of
About
encouragement.
you and generally.
And generally, I would say, first of all, I would say thank you. Thank you for allowing me to enter into your space because our spaces are precious. We don't allow everyone to come into it. So if you took the time out to, watch this, listen to my music, or come to a show, I sincerely say thank you because you didn't have to. You didn't have to. I'm appreciative of your love and of your support. And I thank you over and over again as you continue to support me as an artist, which shows me that I'm doing God's work. I'm, acknowledging me that I'm doing because that's what it is. And
Excellent.
so all I can do is say is just thank you.
Thank you. Well, Miss Monet, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Pleasure is mine.
I've really enjoyed this conversation and I'm hoping to see you perform one day.
Yes, I gotta get I'm like, okay, it's time. I need to get over there. I need to come on over and do some Miss Monet, be munificent
Oh.
over there, bring my munificence over there.
We can make that happen.
Yes, yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. Gotta make this munificence just.
Excellent. Well, yeah, wishing you all the best. Looking forward
Thank
to
you.
more things. And like I said, keep being you because just
Thank
you
you.
being you is an inspiration, especially in this time. And there's so much divisiveness and trying to be, but we're all messengers in our own way. And once we recognize that,
Yes.
and then we show up. We don't
Yes.
just show up for ourselves, but we show up for others. And I think
Yes.
what you're doing. So thank you so much. And thank you to Ron for introducing
Yes.
me. Ron Ledford. He's an
Right.
incredible human being as well.
Absolutely.
So thank you. Thank you. And all the best.
Appreciate you. Thank you again.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to click the bell icon for notifications on future videos. Thank you for watching.